Hello, good morning. Welcome to the new week. So, in today class, we are going to learn about the grid, right? Grid, okay? CSS grid. So, grid, what is grid now, right? Grid is a way to lay out our website, right? How you can put properly organize your content in the website, okay? We have looked at Flex. A grid is similar to Flex, but with more functionality, right? Like we can use grid for two-dimensional, okay? So let's look at the most likely the some image of the grid, right? I'll just here type CSS grid, okay, and try to understand this. I'll just take one of the image. So maybe let's see. Okay, let's open this, right? So look at this image, okay? Here what you see is sidebar start, header, right? Header, sidebar. See how you can organize the boxes in different column, right? So we have, you can see two column here, sidebar start column and the sidebar end column, right? So the top two column is complete header, the middle one is sidebar and the main content, right? And the footer is complete two column, okay? So that's how we organize, right? Our grid component, or grid component, we can call it child component, right? These are the child of the grid. First we're going to create grid, and inside the grid you can arrange the child, right? One more thing before we move to the next, grid scale. Look at here, right? What we have to understand is the number, right? See, one, the line, left line, right? If you look at from the top and also in the left side, the one is starting the first line of the grid, right? The two, so the column one A, right, end at 2, start from one line and end at 2. Column B, right, start from 2 and end at 3, right? And C start from 3 and end at 4. The new child like D start from row 2. Look at here, row 2 and end at row 3, right? These are the row, okay? And same thing, the column will be 1 and column 2, right? So this image you have to, like understand. Same thing for the third row, start from the row 3 and end at row 4, right? But just consider that as a line, okay? Let's not get confused with the row or something, right? Of course this is row 1 2 3, but the line, always, right? The row, even is row 1 has two line, the starting line and ending line, right? That is for row. And same with the column, starting column and ending column, starting line and ending line, right? I think this one has better. Look at here, see, horizontal row, starting line, ending line, right? And same with the column, starting line for column and ending line for column. So this is how you can arrange, right? To look at this, different colors, pink running from complete, columns. Grid area, look at this yellow box, right? So with grid you can, you can select different columns, right, and make one box. That's what we will be able to do it in the grid. Flex we cannot do, right? All right, one more thing is fraction, right? Look at here, one fraction is basically the unit, right, or size. It will, like a auto adjustment, right? One fraction, if there is a lot of space and there is only one column and you make one fraction, right, that means a whole width or column will be one fraction. If there is 4 column and you make each column with one fraction, then they are equally, automatically they will become equal size column, right? The row, look at the row, right? Either you can give the fixed row or you can leave it auto, right? Auto means the content size, okay? If you have a lot of content, you can, like the row will increase the height, right, automatically. So here, basically grid column start, grid column end. So these are the line, right? Start at line 1, here line 1, end at line 2 or 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, look at this. And row also, grid row start at line 1 and end at 3. So this first box become this must be item 1 become this big, right? Item 2 is one fraction. Basically one fraction is the column, okay? One fraction is column, right? So if there are many divs, each of them will take one column. But we as a developer, we can change the size of our child, right? Our box, okay? To fit inside the grid. First we create a grid and then we arrange our child inside the grid, right? So what we're gonna do is let's go to our MERN stack here and pull out the CSS. Let's get back here, right? So let's pull out the CSS document. Okay, where is that? Somewhere here. Fronted, no, not here. Let me check quickly, guys. Just give me a second. So that is HTML, I believe. Inside the HTML CSS, right? We have to go inside the CSS, and then most likely you will find that link here. So in this one, right? In this one, what you will see is grid box, right? So we're gonna create something like this. Okay, this is our final design we're gonna create. We already have some written code. You just need to download the starter file, right? Grid practice starter file. Just click on that, download, right? Just download that. Okay, so I will just open that extract. So here you can see, right, all this. Let me copy or just drag, right? Let me just drag it to our, oh, I close that. So I need to drag this whole content in the project, right? So here, inside the CSS grid, and I will just drag all this, okay? Yeah. So now I don't need this, I'll close. Let's go live view, right? We're gonna need this design, okay? We're gonna need this design, right? So pancake stack, look at here, 3 rows, header, main section, and footer. Now after this, we're gonna learn how to create 12 column grid, right? Simple 12 grid layout, okay? And then inside the 12 column grid, we can make this box right in the center. So how we can do that? Next is this is the main design, right? Our website for mobile, tablet, and desktop, right? How we can create the layout for mobile, tablet, and desktop using the grid. So this is the 3 things we're gonna learn today, right? So okay, fine, let's continue. First, what I will do, right, I'm gonna go live view. Let's go live view here. So here is tags 1, 2, 3, right? Most likely we're not gonna do this 3.2. Yeah, let's keep it up to 3.1. Okay, if you understand this one, right, that is good enough. 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah, let's keep it up to there. Let's look at the first one. Okay, so it looks something like this, right? How we gonna create, like 3 rows, right? Header, then main need to occupy the complete height, and then finally the footer, right? How we can do that? So look at here. This is the div tax1 container, right? We have tax1 container. Then inside there is 3 sections like header, main, and footer, right? Simple enough. Okay. So if you look at the CSS, right? This is just normal some CSS. Okay, body, there is items. These are the item, right? Each box is one item. So look at here. That's the item CSS class. That's why it looks tomato border with all that, right? Fine. Now the height, that is, if you use this class, then our box will be 50 view height, right? So we have learned the view height. 50 means 50% of the screen size. 50%, right? If this is the, like 50% of this height, okay? Just imagine that. That's the view height, right? But we're gonna use this maybe later in our next example, right? So how grid work, right? How grid work? Before we start grid, let me explain few things. I have explained already, but let's do this here again, right? In order to make a grid box, you're gonna have parent box with many children inside, right? Like this, okay? Let's say these are the 3 children, right? They are div, so maybe if they are any block element, then they will be like this, right? Okay. But for now, just imagine there is 3 children. This is a parent. So we have CSS for the parent box, all right? And then we have CSS for the child box, right? CSS for child also. Remember, parent and children. So first thing, right? In order to make a grid box in the container, the parent box or container, right? So our container is, look at this container, right? The div is the parent with 3 children. So you have to apply the CSS for the container. So that will be a grid, right? Basically display grid, okay? That's it. When you do that, nothing gonna happen, right? Nothing gonna happen. Next thing is template. You have to define the template. The first thing is grid, second is template, right? Let's define the template. And grid, template, columns, and grid template rows, right? So you have to define the template. So in my design, right, in my first design, let me pull that. I don't need, it's just one column, right? So I don't have to define the column. There is one column, that's good enough. I need to define 3 rows, right? So let's define that. Grid, template, rows. And first one is auto. Auto means the height of the header, right, will be the only size of the content. If there is many content, the height will increase. If not, it just take the size of the content. That's it. That is auto. And one fraction will be, so this is the first row, second row. One fraction means expand as long as there is a space, right? Like push the element up and down, okay? And again, the last one, that is footer, is auto, right? See? So in grid template rows, you define the number of rows. So I just need 3 rows, right? So now you see, this is the first header is first row, second row, and third row. The problem now is it did not move, right? Why? Remember, I need to push this container, right? If you make a background color here, red, right? Look at this. There is no padding, so you don't see, right? So let's add some padding of 5 pixels. You see that? Let's change to maybe green, blue, whatever. There, right? So look at that. That is the container. And because the height of the container is, very small, right? Only the height of the content, like 3 box. Then how this will expand, right? How the main section will push up and down. Because our main is one fraction, it should push the header and footer to the bottom, right? And take all the space in the middle. But how? That's why we have to always give a height, right? Make it 100 view height of the screen, right? Look at that. So soon you make that container 100% height of the screen. So, that should be like this, right? That is 100. This is 100, right? Height is 100 of the view, okay? So now the main is pushing header and footer away from each other, right? Like basically, let's say main is taking the complete height, okay? This is the first thing you have to practice. Once you know this, we're good to go, right? Even there is a gap property you can apply, right? So let's make it 50 pixel and see what happens. So see, there is a gap between the children, right? So maybe 10 pixel is okay, right? Fine. So, you can use that one. So this gap will be in both horizontal and vertical, right? Row and column both. But we have only row, so that's what you see the gap between the row, right? So that is all we have to do in first tracks, right? We're done. Okay. So let's move to the next one, right? So I will close the task 1 and close this also and move to the task 2. So I will just open this. So right now, if you look at here, height is 50. This class name height 50, right? These are the items. So items are this tomato box, item 1, and there is another class item 1 and item 2. So we will check later why we need that class again, right? And there is same height 50. So height 50 will make the box 50 view height, okay? 2 box 50 view height. Now, the first thing what we do, display grid, right? Now the question says, right, simple 12 grid layout, okay? So we need to make 12 column, right? How we can do that? So the column will be grid template columns. So either you can make it like 12 times 1 fraction, like this, 1 fraction, 1 FR, 1 FR, 1 FR, like that 12 times, right? If I just make this, what's gonna happen? Check, see? I get 3 columns. So that's why you have the first box takes the first column, second box takes second column, and third one is here at space. If I make one more column like that, so they are pushed down, right? So you can make 12 column, but this is too lengthy, right? So there is a formula now. Repeat like this, 12 time and 1 fraction, right? Look at that. So now if I inspect this page, you're gonna see basically, let's look at here. I will show you now. Look at that. You can count, just count now, right? There is 12 column, okay? You can see exactly how it looks. Row is only one row, but and also try to understand the line now, right? The column 1 start with line 1. This is the line 1 here, right? And the line 2 is this one, okay? The column 2 start with the line 2 and end at line 3. So that depends on column. So the third column start at line 3 and end at line 4. So if I'm fourth column, right, I will start at line 4th and I will end at line 5, right? That is the natural document flow, but we can move this column and tell them to occupy so many columns, right? So let's do that. First, you understand, let's, like try to figure out the column, okay? We have created 12 column grid, right? First, we create the layout and then we arrange these boxes right inside that column, okay, or row, right? So the first one is, so let's here, right, grid, because I need to take columns, so there is grid columns. Basically, there is two different way we can write it. We can call it grid columns start. So I will say I want to start at line, maybe let's start at line 2, right, for example, and grid column end, okay, and maybe I want to end at line 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I want to take 4 column, right, so that will be column 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to end at line 6 and save now, right? Look at that. So this start at line, basically line 2 and end at 6. Okay, so next you can do the same thing here, right? Oh, Control G, copy, and do this here. If you save, see, it moved to the new place, right? New line, because there is no more like same, right? You cannot put same child in the same place. So let's do, I want to, because this grid column end at 6, right? So you can start from 6, okay, and end at maybe 11, right? So let's say I want to end at 11 column, so that will be 12, because 11 has 12, right? Ending at 12, okay. Look at that. So you have one column left on the left side, one on the right side. Look, see that? So how you can write shorthand, right? Shorthand. So you just put grid column, right, and start. So maybe start at line 2 and span, maybe just take maybe 4 column, right? Okay. So let's comment that out. So it just took 4 column, right? And this one, so the span 4. So because we have starting as to left the first one, right? So basically 5 column is here. So 5 column ending will be, the line will be 6. So you can do the same thing now here, right? So start at line 6 and span, maybe span 4 for 8, right? So let's span 4, 5 column we have taken, right? You want to span maybe 6, 5. Okay, let's span 6, right, and see what happens. Yeah, okay. So the column span 6 column and 4 column. 4 and 6 is 10. So you have 1 column left on the left and 1 on the right side. Okay, so you can delete this or comment out, right? Span how many column, right? Just till that. We have total 12 column. So the 4 and 6 is 10 column, and first column is just, we have just left it, and the second column we have left it, right? Now how we can put this in the center? So here we can give a height, right? Height of the container will be 100, because you need to give a 100 view height, right? So that container is 100%, and that align item, right, center. See, because now height is 100%, we can put this in the center. You can add a gap also, right? Let's add a gap of 10 pixel. Let's see, there is a gap. So with this, we clear now, right, that we can make the 12 columns grid layout, and then we can arrange our child inside accordingly. Okay, now it's time to understand this layout, right? Once you master this layout, that means you understand grid very well. So let's move on to the third one, right? Same thing, if you open this in the live view, what you see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children inside the container, right? So to arrange this, you have container, and then there is a 6 children. First, we're gonna make this layout, right, and give a gap between them. Okay, the mobile layout. Let's do that one first. So always the, like tax3 container display flex, sorry, grid, right? And I need to make how many columns now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 column, right? So let's do that. Grid, not column, sorry, the rows. Okay, this is the 6th row, right? So first one is just the height of the content, auto. Second one is height of the content, auto. The main section will expand all the way, that is one fraction. The sidebar is auto, the add is auto, right? And the footer is auto also. Save. So if we go now, it's still nothing changed. Why? Can you guess? Because our container don't have the full height. So let's give a height of 100 view height, right? And save. See? So it expand now, right? The main expand all the way. There is 6 column. Okay. Now let's give a gap, right? Gap of 10 pixel. And done. So we're done with the mobile now, right? The next thing is when it grows more than 720 pixel, minimum mean width is 7 pixels. So when you grow above 7, right? When you go up 7, right? 720 pixel. What we're gonna do now? So for that, check how many column we have, right? Let's check that. So we have, sorry, how many rows? 1 row, 2 row, 3, and 4 row only, right? So we need to change the row also. Let's do that here. Because we need to change the row, right? So the first one is auto, second is first, second, third one is one fraction, that is fine. And the fourth one, right? So we don't need these two, okay? Fine. First, we have to define the rows. Still, you're not going to see any changes, right? But if we make this little bit big, let's see. Yeah, right now, we don't see any changes, but let's try to figure that out, right? So auto, one fraction, and auto, right? That is the 4 row. Now, how we can achieve this now, right? Because this is in the middle row, we have sidebar and all that, right? So what will be the things we need to do? Things we need to do is, first we need to create grid template columns, okay? Repeat dual time one fraction. Now check, right? So when you go above 720, see, that's what happened, okay? So 6, they all occupy the basically 6 column, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 column. So now let me minimize this, right? And try to make it little looks okay. Yeah. So we got this. Now we have to tell each children to occupy the grid column, right? Let's do that. Grid column, start at line 1 and span 12. Same thing for the navigation bar, right? Now we move to the middle one. So in the middle one, there is sidebar which takes two column, and the remaining is taken by the main, right? So let's do that one. So the main, we have to tell the main, right, that main grid column is starting at line 3. Start at line 3 and span 10. Okay, because the third one is if you look at the HTML, also you have to check the HTML, right? So this is the normal document flow. First row, second row, now third row is the main, right? This is the fourth row, automatic, right? But see how we can fix that now, right? Let's go back here. Look at this. That's the third row. Okay, but I need to bring this sidebar now, right? Starting with the row 3. This is the row 3 and go all the way down, right? So I have to, in that situation, I have to tell sidebar what to do. Okay, so first grid row, right? So row need to start at line 3. Okay, so save this. So look at now, right? It just started at line 3, the sidebar, but it need to column wise need to take the 2 column, right? So here grid column, start column will be start at line 1 and span 2, right? See, that's what happened. Fine. So now finally add, right? Next, if you look at this document flow, we have add, that is okay. So we will just tell add to take the 2 column. So, you know, basically same thing, just here, right? Save. And the footer will be almost same, but little different, right? So start at column 3 and span 10, right? So start at column 3 and span 10. See, I have already made this 4 column, right? If you go back and put auto here, that is 5th and 6th and save. Look at, you get some space on the bottom, right? That is what we don't want. Okay, so we make it exactly, you know, the number of rows, right? We need 4 rows, done. See that? Okay, the next thing is if you go more than 1000 pixel, 1020 pixel. So what is the design says? That is the desktop, right? So that is the desktop. So how we can achieve this? So we have just header which moves from left to right. The navigation is in the center. This sidebar is okay. Add need to move here, right, on the right side, and the footer is on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is also 4 rows, right? 4 rows. So that is similar to this. We don't have to change this one, but we need to start the header. We don't need, right? Header is same, so leave it like that. Navigation, now I need to change the navigation, right? So navigation starts, let's say grid column, start at line 3, right? 3 and span how many? Now I have to, I have to consider this 2 on the right side. So 2 is here, 2 is there, 4, right? That is 8. Just take 8 column. That's it, right? So let's check now. And we have to move this like 1000 pixel. Okay, see that? So you get the idea now, right? I will minimize this to be clear on the screen. Next thing is this sidebar will move from the line 2 now. So let's do that. But the main will be also same, right? We can change this main. See? Just span 8 now. So we have the space 2 column on the right side. But the sidebar now move to the row 2, right? So let's do that one. Grid row, start from line 2 and start from line 2, but it did not go all the way down, right? So we can say line 2, line 3 is here, and then this is the line 4, right? So we can say start line 2 and expand until line 4, right? That work. Basically, start and end. This is the start grid row start and grid row end, right? So we can write like that. Now let's move this one, add, right? Where we're going to move on the right side here. So see 2 and the 8, that is 10. That means 10 ending will be 11, right? Line 11. Okay. So first we're going to define the row. So the grid row will be same like this. But the only thing is, yeah, that is fine, right? So we don't know where it goes, right? So it just look like it get lost somewhere. Oh, you see on the top here, right? Add just move here, okay? But we're gonna tell the column, we're gonna give the column now, right? Okay, let me remove this, okay? Or comment out, right? So here is add. Let's give the column first. Grid column, and column will be 11, right? So grid column start at 11 and span 2. Look at that. Okay, so now we're gonna open this, right? Now it's in the right column. If you give the row correctly, it should be fine, right? Look at that. So just, start at line 2 and then expand all the way to the line 4, right? Okay. Now the footer, we have to define the footer also because it's something different on the top, right? So we just tell the column, grid column, right? Start at line 1 and span 12. See? So this is the desktop. If you go down, this is mobile, not mobile, right? This is tablet. And when you go all the way to mobile, you will get this kind of layout. See? So that's how, just practice this much, right? Just do it couple of times, okay? If you understand this much part, you get good idea on the grid. So let me quickly recap. You must expand your container the height 100%, 100 view height. Next thing, you need to get the grid template rows and columns knocked down. I mean, just understand what is grid template rows and columns, how you can create 12 grid columns. And then next step is arranging the child in the different columns, right? By creating this 3 layout: mobile, tablet, and desktop. That is all we need you guys to work on, right? On the grid part. Very simple. Try to understand that, okay? And that's gonna help a lot, right? Even if you know this much grid, it's good to go, right? All right, guys. So tomorrow we're gonna, so next few days, right? Let's say next 2 to 3 days, we're gonna work on project, okay? We practice what we have learned so far, right? In HTML, CSS, by building couple of projects. So you can create the GitHub projects and then work on that, right? The best practices, we need to start with creating the Git projects, then set up everything and write the code, right? Then you can commit to your GitHub also, okay? Basically push to the GitHub. So the practice, right? By using GitHub and all that, we're gonna do at least 2 to 3 projects this week, and then finally we're gonna move to the JavaScript. JavaScript is the main programming, right? What we're gonna learn here. I will make sure, right, you all guys get comfortable with the JavaScript. So that is important, very important, right? Before we do anything else, we're gonna solve a lot of problems in JavaScript. Understand how JavaScript works. We're going to divide JavaScript in like a couple of 3 different, maybe 2 to 3 different sections, right? Understanding the fundamental of programming or basic programming concepts, how JavaScript works, the APIs of the browser, right? ES6 JavaScript, and JavaScript essential for the React, right? Or Next.js. So that's how we're gonna, complete our JavaScript. Solve a lot of problems with JavaScript. And also we're going to check at, look at the interview questions, right? Or algorithm data structure with JavaScript. So once we get comfortable with all these things, then, we're going to move to our backend using Express, Node.js, MongoDB's database and all that, right? And spend a lot of time creating, basically mastering create API, right? How you're going to create API, RESTful API, okay, before we move to any front-end development using React or Next.js later, right? But long way to go. So please, this week let's focus on our grid and couple of projects, right? Then we're gonna move to the real stuff with programming. Thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.